It was a sweltering hot and humid evening in early July. It was the 4th of July, that was. That evening, my friends Steve, Frank, Chad, and I, as well as Colin, were all going to go to hang out and watch the fireworks. Got in the car and drove on over to pick up Steve, and from there, the two of us went to go meet at a little park near my house where Frank, Chad, and Colin were there waiting for us. "Ready for the fireworks, guys?" Frank asked. We already knew Frank was really into fireworks. 4th of July was always his favorite time of year. Him and his family were always all into going up and getting fireworks and making a big ruckus in the neighborhood. Always knew that it was them.
"Buzz, man, you really think you can do another 4th of July this year without getting the cops called?"
Said Steve. "Yeah, Frank, I remember last year you literally had to run away because the cops called on your dumbass," said Colin.
"Well, bro, I think this year should be different. This year, some other people are going to be lighting off the fireworks, meaning all we have to do is to sit back and relax,"
said Chad. Chad was right. This year, we're all going to be watching some other people light off the fireworks from afar. It's like them putting on a show for us, rather than messing around with Frank's fireworks and he gets them from who knows where.
"But it is quite hot out," Chad added, "and I'm getting pretty thirsty. How about you bros hop on into the Brovertible? We can all scooze your way up to the 7-Eleven up the street for some Monster Energies and protein shakes." "Man, that sounds like a fine-ass plan to me, G. Let's go,"
said Steve. And so we all do just that. We were in the neighborhood of Vanderville, about 15 minutes down the road from Liberty Town. We knew of a 7-Eleven that was stocked to the brim with all sorts of energy drinks and snacks. And so that was that. We all hopped in Chad's all-signature Brovertible as he puts the roof down. Steve blasts his funky music as we cruise down Route 26 till 10 minutes later we pull into the 7-Eleven parking lot. The time was around 9:30. It was already dark outside. Luckily for us, we still had about 45 minutes until the fireworks were scheduled to go off. It's kind of weird though. It seemed as if we were the only ones at 7-Eleven. It was kind of an old 7-Eleven too. An old part of town. It had been there for many, many years. I don't know, it was like it only had one gas pump, which no roof on it either. But we parked the car and strolled on inside nonetheless. We hear the all-signature sound of the doorbell ring as we walk inside.
"Good evening, boys," the cashier said.
"Oh, no," Colin exclaimed, for good reason. It was the creepy clerk, the same guy from the library Libash that showed us his biography, Not going to talk about what we saw in that, though. Yeah, he was also the same guy from the telescope Tarangi, with the creepy telescope and all. But again, I'm getting off topic. I'm not going to go into it. Bro, how on earth did you get a job here? I demanded.
"Well, boys, I was just sitting at home, and I figured a night like tonight on the 4th of July now, some special boys are always getting a little thirsty on hot nights like tonight. And so I figured may as well pick up a few extra shifts at the 7-Eleven now, as I do have a family to feed in town,"
the creepy clerk said. "Oh no, this is not okay. Alright, here's the deal, bud. We're gonna go and grab our drinks. You're gonna check us out, and then you're gonna stay here and leave us the fuck alone," said Colin.
"Oh, don't worry, boys. I can do that for y'all. Go get your drinks, and when you're ready, I'll be happy to check you boys out when you pick out your drinks."
Chad made himself a protein shake and we all got our Monster Energies. I get the watermelon flavored one, and once we had what we wanted, we went back to the front, and were kind of surprised to find that the creepy clerk was no longer there.
"Miss me, boys?"
he said as he emerged from the back room, carrying a few cardboard boxes. He walked by us, back behind the front counter to open them up.
"I mean, these fireworks are for special boys now," he said.
"Fireworks? From you? Oh, no.
"Man, the fuck y'all talking about? This shit looks good as fuck, G. Homemade fireworks."
Steve, seriously, we do not want to be buying anything from this guy. Besides, probably expensive, We are not buying those."
"Oh, don't worry now, boys. They're a little gifty gift for y'all. I'll give them to y'all for free now, only as long as y'all willing to pay. Bit of a different kind of price."
"No," Colin rebuted. Though not everyone was as close-minded when it came to the creepy clerk as Colin and I were.
"What is it?"
asked Frank.
"Why don't you follow me to the back, boy? I'll show you around, give you a live tour."
"Oh no, Frank, you better not," I said. But it was too late. Frank and the creepy clerk walked into the back room. I don't know what they were doing back there. I don't know what the creepy clerk showed Frank, quote-unquote, but I didn't want to know. 5 minutes later, they re-emerged. Frank looked pretty traumatized from whatever they did back there, and the creepy clerk had a creepy smirk of satisfaction on his face, kind of alarming. But then his face went back to staring at us with the same creepy eyes, the same kind from the previous summer, back at Seabase.
Anyway, now, let's get them fireworks,
said Steve.
All yours now, boys,
said the creepy clerk. We grabbed our drinks and the fireworks and went back to the car. The creepy clerk simply watched us as we sped away from the window.
Oh,
he said, very faintly.
I don't know, Bruce. The vibes don't seem quite right,
said Chad. He didn't need to say that again. We all knew it. We took a glance at the fireworks that the creepy clerk had given us. They weren't any brand or anything from any company. We opened the cardboard boxes and it was just the fireworks, no packaging or anything.
Man, let's just save these bitches for later,
said Steve.
We gotta get the cap on shit. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
I mean, well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to light them off. To be honest, I am kind of curious to see how they're going to work. We just got to be careful, though, considering who gave them to us, I said.
That's right, Bruce. We'll make sure to go into a big farm field to do it. We don't want to start anything nasty now. Anyway.
Okay, so the plan was set that we'd simply go back to the park and watch the fireworks as usual. But after that, we would drive to a remote farm field and light off the creepy clerk fireworks that were given at the 7-Eleven. Anyway, once we get back to the park, we see a bunch of people screaming and running away from something. What could that be? I wondered. We weren't wondering long, though, unfortunately, as we saw a giant person in a flamingo costume. They were chubby and very, very crazy looking. It was no one other than Herbert Ernie himself. I could tell because of the flamingo costume. Even though it was a costume, aka a disguise, the costume still highlighted each and every feature, down to the dot. Everything from his triple chin, his pot belly that was the size of a mini fridge, and his crazy hair that stuck out even through the suit.
Where doesn't anybody want to face me? It's the 4th of July.
Oh no, Colin said dreadfully, and I don't blame him. We tried to run away and hide and blend in with the rest of the crowd, but it was too late. We look behind us and see Herbert in the process of crab waddling over to us. It looks super weird and creepy in that flamingo costume, especially with nothing but our phone flashlights to illuminate him. Next thing we knew, Herbert was standing right in front of us. Herbert, what in the world are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here, remember? I remember last year at the firework festival you got banned for revealing your goodies.
Oh, did I now? Well, boys, it seems like it's time for round number 2.
Round 2? Oh, no. Listen, I should just call the cops on your ass right here and now, Colin said. And Colin goes to do just that, but as soon as he calls 911, someone else picks up the phone. I don't know. I have no idea how this person in particular managed to tap the 911 line receptors, but here was the conversation nonetheless.
911, boys. Any emergency now?
What? Oh, no. How the fuck did you tap the line? Colin exclaimed.
Oh, there's no emergency now. It's just Chief now. He's here to join the fireworks, boys. Now, if you enjoy the show, happy lighting us up fireworks now. Let's go.
Just then, we looked to the east and see the fireworks that the creepy clerk was talking about. They weren't actual fireworks. It's kind of weird. It was like a massive, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a giant flame line being shot into the sky. Not even a real firework. It made a weird hissing sound like a spray in a way.
You didn't do it, quick. A man of class indeed. I knew it,
Herbert said. We looked behind us and see that Herbert was no longer wearing the flamingo costume from earlier. Oh shit! Everybody run! I said. We all did just that. Reason being is because Herbert was now in nothing more but one of those orb bubbles. You know, the kind that you put yourself around, you can like roll down the hill and such. But in that orb bubble, he was butt naked. Unfortunately for us, Chad's Brovertible was parked down the hill, meaning we had to run downhill to get to it. This meant that Herbert could begin rolling after us. Luckily, we were able to run in more of a zigzag motion to try and dodge Herbert, as we couldn't directly outrun him whilst rolling in that ball. Once back at the Brovertible, Herbert was in a full-on speed roll. He was bouncing practically 20 feet in the air. Anyway, Herbert bounces right over the convertible, right before landing in a creek down the hill in the woods. He was then carried away by the current, and we assumed that was the last of him. Unfortunately, this would not be the case. Chad, just drive. I don't care where we're going. We just gotta get away from this park. The creepy clerk is coming, I said. We do just that. It was around 10:15 at night now, and we were driving on a remote country road through the backwoods.
Right here, man,
said Steve. Steve, we're literally in the middle of a random farm field. What the fuck could we possibly stop for? Colin asked. But then I remembered. The fireworks. We had completely forgotten about them. Steve, seriously, the creepy clerk gave those to us. They are not a good idea to light off, considering everything else fucked up that has happened this night, I said.
I don't give a fuck. You just being a bitch, that's all.
And so, I stopped worrying about the fireworks, I guess, and let Steve do his thing.
I have an intuition that these fireworks will be kind of a big deal.
It's Frank whines.
But man, no one gives a fuck about your bitch-ass suspicions. I only left you fireworks because you almost lit all yourself and lit your ass on fire,
said Steve. Yeah, that was a funny story when Frank almost lit himself on fire. He really did burn his ass cheeks off. I don't know, it's like a waxing in a way. Man, so stupid. Anyway, it was really whatever at this point. I was getting kind of tired. The Monster Energy caffeine high kind of has worn off for now, so we just kind of moved to get this shit over with. So Steve sets the box of fireworks on the ground and just says YOLO and lights them all off at once. Then a little fuse on them, meaning it would take a few minutes before they would actually go off, giving us plenty of time to go back up to a safe distance. Got back out of the convertible and reclined our seats, kind of face the fireworks, get a good view.
Well, Bruce, happy 4th of July. Cheers to the fireworks.
Well, I'll do a cheers motion with what's left of our Monster Energies and Chad's protein shake, expecting to have the fireworks show of a lifetime. However, what we got was far from. When the fireworks finally did go off, all they did was manifest themselves into the shape of Herbert's chubby face. They even made it faint but prominent as they lit off.
Yay! Herbert fireworks!
Right on, Chief, the creepy clerk said in the background. Oh shit, guys, we gotta get out of here now, I said. We did just that. Colin gets out his phone and calls the cops. 5 minutes later, and the police weren't on our ass, but rather on Herbert and the creepy clerk's ass, who were in the Ford Ruster trailing behind us. That all signature creepy clerk whip. Anyway, they get pulled over and arrested before being taken away. We were all pretty traumatized, so we just went home for the night. I couldn't believe it. Herbert and the creepy clerk had just ruined the 4th of July. Well, that blew, but at least we're all safe and kind of mentally scarred from those creepy fireworks we had seen. I'm gonna let you in on a little dirty secret now. I told you that they were just of Herbert's chubby face, but they weren't all of just his face. Some of them were of his ass cheeks. Yeah, that was that. Anyway, that then concludes the 4th of July Freakyhole.